Hi, I'm Linda Nataki, pediatric speech language pathologist, and I'm here today to help you work on speech and language at home. I'm so excited because I just made a Facebook group, and this way I can reach more of you guys, listen to your feedback, kind of hear about what topics you'd like me to cover in these videos. If you haven't seen my Facebook group, I'll link it down below in the description box. And for those of you who have and have taken the poll, I have heard you guys that you guys want to hear more about autism. And I am currently working on a video for you. But for now, I thought that I would start with tantrums because that is something that almost all the parents seem to ask me about, and it's something that I deal with a lot every day. And it also varies a lot per child. So I'm going to tell you what to do during a tantrum, and then I'm going to give you some tips on how to avoid them in the future. If you do have a child with ASD or autism spectrum disorder, I highly recommend that you seek out professionals who can help tailor an individualized plan specifically for your child. But for now, here are some tips. Number 1, try not to bombard them with complex negative energy. The more you fire negative energy at your child, who's already escalating in emotion and behavior, the worse it's going to be. He's going to keep escalating and the behavior is going to intensify. Complex language can really be frustrating. Complex language will frustrate him even more because in an elevated state, it's really difficult to understand this type of language. Think about it like this. If you were speaking to a lawyer and you didn't think your lawyer was listening to you, and then he starts dropping all this lawyer jargon like futile and debacle and perpetual, you're going to get even more pissed. So saying things like, if you don't calm down, you're going to go into a timeout. Or if you don't stop it, then you're not going to get a snack. Doesn't really help the situation that much. And it is really hard because as our child is escalating behavior, our emotions are also rising at the same time. So instead, try as best you can to keep your energy calm. Use simple phrases, simple sentences, easy language, easy to understand. You could say something like, I see that you're upset and I'm so sorry, but I don't like it for you to kick me. And then you can move away. Tip number 2. Planned ignoring. This is a great strategy to use for a child who is attention seeking. And you'll know if a child is attention seeking because usually he'll kind of look at you and then he'll go do whatever naughty thing he wanted to do. But he'll wait for you to look at him first. The first thing you want to do is keep your child safe. Remove anything that he can throw or hit someone with or hit himself with. Then you want to turn your back on him. And you don't have to do it completely. You can kind of sit sideways with him and just not give him any attention, and then say something like, when you're ready, we can play. But you're not giving him that direct attention. Sometimes even negative attention will fuel that behavior as well. So even if it's negative attention, you don't want to give him any of that. The third tip is redirect, don't bribe. And there is a difference. Bribing is when you say something like, do you want a candy? If you calm down, then you get a candy. All this is doing is teaching your child that when he misbehaves, he gets a candy. So we don't really want to do that. What we want to do instead is redirect. So grab his favorite toy or grab a toy that you could play with by yourself, like a car. Like, ooh, look at this car, and be super energetic. Like, this is the coolest toy in the world. And in that moment, you have to believe it. That way, he's kind of like, oh, he gets redirected. And then you can repeat, when you're ready, then you can come play. If he tries to grab the toy while he's still tantruming, then just quietly move away again and say, when you have a quiet body or when you have nice hands, then you can come play. And patiently wait. There might be a little tug of war here, but stay strong and just think about it. You want to really nip this behavior in the bud because your child is going to get bigger and older and stronger, and you don't want to be dealing with this type of behavior when they're 12. If you can, if at all possible, try to nip the behavior while your child is still young and small. I had a little girl that I was working with, and she had attention-seeking behavior, and she would keep upping the ante. So she would crawl under the table, and I would, oh, you're not ready to play, and then I would turn and ignore her, and then she would climb on top of the table. I'm like, oh, she's trying to get a rise out of me, And then I would play with the other kids, like, oh my gosh, look, Billy's playing so nicely. I'm gonna go play with Billy. And then we started like playing with something fun, and eventually she did come around, but it took weeks basically, and all of our staff had to be on point and consistent with it. So that's the kind of battle that you're fighting, but just stay strong. It really does pay off. The fourth tip is praise good behavior. So once your child is calm, has a quiet body or quiet hands, then you do want to praise them in a calm way. Like, that was really nice. I like it when you're calm and we can play together. This is really fun. So now tips on how to reduce a tantrum. Number 1 is structure your day. Kids love structure. They respond well to it. It helps them know what's coming up next. The unknown can be really scary for some some kids, so having a structured day helps. And it doesn't have to be like you do the same thing every single day, but the morning routine and the night routine should be the same. So for example, in the morning routine, you wake up at the same time, you go potty, brush your teeth, eat breakfast. And then in the nighttime routine, have bath time, you brush your teeth, you read a book, and then you go to sleep. To allow for variation during the day, you can give your child some control here, and you can ask them, what do you want to do today? Give them choices. Do you want to go to the grocery store first, or do you want to go to grandma's house first? And then if your child is younger, you can have pictures of both so that maybe it'll help them understand the choice that they're making. And then when they pick something, then you can say, okay, we'll go see grandma's house first. Keep in mind that both of the options that you present have to be something that you're actually going to do or have to do that day. This way you're giving your child some control, but really you have to get them done. It doesn't really matter what order you're getting them done in. Number 2, priming. So this is like when you're giving your kid a heads up of something that's going to be happening soon. So you can tell your child what you're going to be doing tomorrow, especially if it's not in the norm. If it's not part of the normal day, then you definitely want to give your child some priming and give them a heads up that something different is going to happen. For example, the night before, you're going to say, remember, tomorrow we're going to get a haircut. And then in that morning when you guys are eating breakfast, you could say, remember, we're going to get a haircut, and then we're gonna go to lunch. If you're expecting a huge transition, like a new baby in the family or starting a new school, then you're gonna wanna give weeks and weeks of priming for this new transition, maybe even months, depends on your child. But if it's something like a new school, then you can bring your child to the school and show them, look, this is what the school you're going to be going to, this is the classroom you're going to be going to. Because remember, children learn the best when they're experiencing it. So doing fun activities like going shopping for a backpack and then going to the school campus will help them understand that this is something that is going to be happening very soon. And my third tip is consistency. So this is so important. Again, there will be a tug of war, especially when it comes to behavior, but the more consistent you can be and the more consistent the adults around you can be, the better. One of my coworkers, a behavior analyst, she explained it to me like this, that a behavior is kind of like gambling. For example, for me, I love the Wheel of Fortune slot machine. Oh my gosh, if I get that big wheel to spin, ooh, I just pull it 30 more times. I'm like, yes, big wheel spin. And the same goes for behavior. Your child will only need to win once, and then he'll be reinforced to continue on. So stay strong, stay consistent. When it comes to behaviors, try to keep in mind that your child is not trying to make you mad. Believe it or not, even though when they're being naughty, usually they're just trying to figure out how to get something that they want. That is most of child development. Like when they're sitting in a high chair and they throw something out of the high chair and then you go pick it up, they're like, oh, when I did that, mom did that. That's kind of cool. I had control in that. And then they'll do it again. It's not because they're trying to make you clean up the house or something or make you really annoyed. They're just trying to figure out how the world works. So the more patient you can be, the better. I know it's easier said than done for sure. But any moment that you feel like you handle the behavior in the correct way, it goes a long way. I hope this was helpful. Please don't get discouraged with tantrums. If this video was helpful, please like and subscribe and send it to anyone that you think would benefit from it. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye.